I know there's even more that have inquired. I think there's a lot of things in place, but right now they have the 4. And the question was, who else do they play if they only had the 4 organizations? The same thing that happened last year. You only had North Crowley and Hamilton Park last year. That was in the Dallas chapter. They're still working on that. And they actually played teams out of the Austin chapter, but particularly the North Austin, like the Bell County Blaze, the Brazos Gators, things of that nature. So they traveled down here, vice versa, as they traveled up there to their home game. So it was a mutual agreement between the Dallas and the North Austin teams, and it worked out very well. I'm sure the same thing will happen again. So they'll have the full set of games just like everybody else. So they're kind of working between the Waco Temple area. Exactly. Dagos Lamont, let me know. They're in the Waco Temple area, but they play each other in Dallas as well. And now with the 4 organizations, it's going to be a little bit less. You have 4 games now that you can mark off that it could be done locally right there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for them. So it's coming together in Dallas. It's getting bigger, so congratulations to them. Football equipment being sold in Katy at flea market prices. Darius, I have it. I'm going to have to load it up. I don't have it loaded up right now for tonight, but I will definitely look into that for next week. We'll throw a little AC/DC in there. Wouldn't mind doing that. I might have some. I have to look and see if I got loaded up in there. It's one of the things you have to do. You got to load things up in the system in order to play it. So going back to, we'll have another call here in just a little bit. We'll wait for his call, see if it happens. In the meantime, let's take a look. We already did Dallas. They're all Division II. North Crowley Panthers, Hamilton Park Bobcats, the Irving Ballas, and the Irving Seahawks. West Texas, the Odessa Junior Broncos. Yes, it is spelled like Bronchos. Not sure. They gave me a reason why they did that. I think it had something to do. Someone made a mistake or something. I don't know. But it is the Broncos. It's not the Bronchos. The Lubbock Texans, Lubbock Red Raiders, West Texas Longhorns, the Snyder's Finest brand new, Hub City Bison who are brand new, the Hub City Dolphins who are brand new, and the West Texas Silverbacks that just got announced today, brand new, into the West Texas chapter. So congratulations to them, as they all remain in Division II. So we talked to the Edinburgh Raptors. We got the RGV Warriors. I guess they missed the call. And we got the Ruthless Wolfpack, who we're expecting to call here in a little bit. The RGV. So we'll give you the teams that are in Division II for the Rio Grande Valley. Here you go. Obviously, the new team, the RGV Warriors. The other new one, which is the Edinburgh Raptors. The Sherryland Rattlers. La Villa Mighty Cardinals. Santa Rosa Warriors. Rio Hondo Bobcats. RGV Bulls. The Mercedes Tigers. Port Isabel Tarpons. The RGV Ducks. The Ed Couch Elsa Little Jackets. The Hidalgo Buccaneers. And the PSJA Wildcats. So we'll run that down again. Division II teams for the Rio Grande Valley are as follows. The RGV Warriors, the Edinburgh Raptors, the Sherryland Rattlers, lost my place. Hang on. Here we go. La Villa Mighty Cardinals, the Santa Rosa Warriors, the Rio Hondo Bobcats, the RGV Bulls, the Mercedes Tigers, Port Isabel Tarpons, the RGV Ducks, Ed Couch Elsa Little Jackets, the Hidalgo Buccaneers, and the PSJA Wildcats. Division I for the RGV. The Harlingen Cardinals, who come back to Taifa this year, and they go straight into Division I. The La Feria Lions. The Texas Wolfpack. San Benito Greyhounds. The Mission Mustangs. The RGV Javelinas. The Weslaco Thunder. Brownsville Cowboys, the Brownsville Falcons, and the Ruthless Wolfpack. All Division I in the RGV. So that's where that's standing for the RGV, Division I. Again, Harlingen Cardinals, LaFerrier Lions, Texas Wolfpack, San Benito Greyhounds, Mission Mustangs, the RGV Javelinas, the Weslaco Thunder, Brownsville Cowboys, Brownsville Falcons, and the Ruthless Wolfpack. So the LaFerrier Lions is the first one you notice. They have moved up from Division II to Division I. When I looked at that, when I noticed that LaFerrier moved up, they had a great season. They've had a good couple of seasons in Division II. They deserve to move up to Division I. I know some of these teams get a little leery about being moved up to D1. And, for the last few years, it's been the Texas Wolfpack and the Mission Mustangs. That's what you've heard out of Division I from the RGV. Those two organizations. Do not be surprised if you start hearing a lot about the LaFerrier Lions. They really came in and made a nice move in Division II. They were very dominant in a lot of their games. They win the state championship in Division II. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a great thing for the LaFerrier. I think they're ready for the competition. They may think they're not ready, but I think they are. I think they need to give themselves a little more credit. And I told a lot of people during the meeting when they went through this, I said, don't be surprised if LaFerrier doesn't become a third powerhouse in Division I for the RGV. Don't be surprised if they don't become a third powerhouse in the RGV in Division I. So we'll see what happens on that end. But that's your Division I teams in the RGV. We gave you the Division II teams for the RGV. Austin Killeen. Where's all my Austin Killeen followers? Where are they at? So here we go. Division II for the Austin Killeen chapter. Maynard Tigers. The Killeen Cowboys. Killeen Showtime Elite. EC Oilers, I think it's the East Central Oilers. Los Centex Desperados, Waco Modocs, Brazos Gators, and the Central Texas Wolves, who are brand new to Taifa. All Division II. So here we go. Again, Division II teams for Killeen Austin. Maynard Tigers, Killeen Cowboys, Killeen Showtime Elite, the EC Oilers, Los Centex Desperados, Waco Modocs, Brazos Gators, and the Central Texas Wolves. Division I for Austin Killeen. The Wilco Junior Tigers. The Killeen Devastators. And we're going to circle back to that in a minute. The Killeen Trojans. The Killeen Cove Chiefs. Bell County Blaze. The Killeen Patriots. Pflugerville Hawks. Austin Steelers. And the Capital Area Junior Wranglers. All D1. So some movement there. A lot of movement in the Austin Killeen chapter. As last season, all of the Killeen teams were D2. And you know what, Jeremy, you're correct. I believe they changed their name to the Bell County Patriots. When they went over it during the meeting, they said Killeen Patriots, and I probably should have corrected them. But I don't know if they put that name change in officially yet. Maybe that's why they haven't done it yet. So, again, the Division I teams, Wilco Junior Tigers, Killeen Devastators, Killeen Trojans, Killeen Cove Chiefs, Bell County Blaze, Killeen Patriots, Pflugerville Hawks, Austin Steelers, and Capital Area Junior Wranglers. Now, let's talk about the Killeen Devastators. I'm hoping that they'll come on Tiger Radio, because the Killeen Devastators are the Killeen Olympians, the Soldier Up Olympians. They've come back from playing in another league after spending a season in Taifa. And, I mean, let's be honest, they had a horrible season. Now, from what I understand, they went elsewhere and they had a decent season. So now they're back and they've changed their names. It's also my understanding that they all but demanded to go D1. They all but demanded to go D1. Now, if I remember correctly, 2 years ago when they came in the league, they were D2. Wanted to go D1, but they were D2. And they got destroyed in D2. So that's going to be very interesting to see how they do. Very interesting to see how they do in D1, since they demanded it. And yeah, and Bronche White brings it up. Coach Do Too Little, who came on Tiger Radio about 2 years ago, and I'm sorry, had to just absolutely embarrass that organization. So it's we'll send them the invite. I've already done it. I've already sent the invite. I'm hoping they come on and give us a good explanation of why they demanded D1 and what is it they've got to prove when they come in here. What do they want to do? What's changed from 2 years ago? Bell County Blaze being moved up to D1. We all know why the Killeen Cove Chiefs got moved up to D1. They just had a fantastic season across the board. They've had decent seasons for the last 2 years. Austin Steelers, of course, they've been the powerhouse in D1 Austin. Will someone knock them off out of the Austin-Killeen area? Somebody asking me about how I think the Blaze will fare in D1. You've got some decent competition in D1. Again, the big powerhouse there is the Austin Steelers. Pflugerville Hawks have kind of hung around there as well. They've done fairly well. They've always managed to compete. But you got a lot of teams that have moved up to the D1 level now. They split it kind of clearly. Killeen Trojans, they should have been D1 last year. The Killeen Cove Chiefs should have been D1 last year. Wilco Junior Tigers, I think, should have been D1 last year. So the Blaze, they've got a trail to follow. You got some good competition. A lot is going to be said who your first matchup is to start the regular season and how well you guys do. Even if you take a loss, if you're competing, you're in the game. That could probably say a lot how your season's going to go, being a first year in D1. Some people in the chat box are going after the Devastators, talking about how they shouldn't be in D1.